Managers have a broad array of tools at their disposal for increasing the engagement and motivation of workers. One tool for increasing employee engagement and performance is the psychological contract. It builds on the famous management by objectives insight that involvement of workers in goal formation increases buy-in and mutual understanding many times over, whereas the original MBO efforts focused on formal and documented aspects of joint goal setting. On the other hand, psychological contracts are unwritten understandings about mutual needs, goals, expectations, and procedures. Such agreements go beyond employment contracts, which typically specify salary, benefits, modes of feedback, and working hours. It can be said that the psychological contract begin where formal employment contracts leave off. These informal understandings improve the fit between individuals and the organization, and better fit is associated with increased motivation and reduced turnover. Psychological contracts are potentially far-reaching. Any issues is fair game, but they're usually limited to highly valued concerns. Topics can include the amount and nature of work schedules, growth opportunities, responsibilities and performance objectives, the frequency and nature of managerial feedback, preferred work styles, behaviors that are bothersome, job security, possible rewards, workplace autonomy, support in dealing with child care responsibilities, and so forth. Psychological contracts increase engagement by allowing managers to better understand the needs of individual employees, by helping to provide rewards and conditions that address individual needs, and by ensuring clarity about expectations. Psychological contracts are relatively new in terms of their use as a tool. They can be used at any level of an organization involving employees in the very highest to the very lowest levels of positions. A decade ago, a survey of senior local government managers found that 57.3% of them established psychological contracts with employees, but only about a fifth of these, 20.7%, said that they fully employed the practices described here. Some administrators referred to psychological contracts as informal agreements or mutual understandings. The study also found that the use of psychological contracts was associated with encouraging employees to take up new challenges and promoting a productive organizational culture. Managers can readily establish psychological contracts with subordinates. While it is easier for a manager to initiate a psychological contract with a subordinate than for a subordinate to take the lead, sometimes subordinates can initiate such dialogues with their supervisors or their coworkers. Psychological contracts are also easily established within the first few weeks of employment before routine patterns of communication set in. Several factors make psychological contracts effective as a tool for engagement. First, they help bring light to workers' goals or the needs that motivate them. Second, they allow managers to clarify workers' aims and evaluate the extent to which those needs can be met. Third, they are perceived as a fair balance between what workers want and what workers are expected to give. And fourth, they have the mechanisms for following up, ensuring that an agreement is put into work and addressing changes as they occur. A psychological contract assumes that people can have a rational dialogue and are susceptible to reason. Making a psychological contract is especially, but not only, useful when people begin a new employment relationship. At the point where there's considerable uncertainty, and interaction and communication patterns are still fluid and subject to change. Agreements can also be made among group members or between group and a group leader. This can be accomplished through a discussion about what the group wants to get or do, and what the group is willing to give or give up to get the members what they want. The understandings are then written down, distributed, and reviewed a few weeks later. The later review demonstrates commitment to the contract and allows for dealing with whatever may have come up in the meantime. Establishing psychological contracts is an approach that helps get agreement and alignment among group members and hence helps motivate workers.